I'm going to miss him on College Game Day.
Yeah,
even though the last few years have been.
Well, it's just an institution. It's just one of those things that you just get used to it. You just. You know when you look up on Saturday morning about 9 a.m. and you just, even if you're not locked in, you just look up and he's there. So, it's going to be something. I'm fascinated to see who they replace him with long term, because I guess they're not going to do it this year, but you got to bring in another coach, and I just don't know who that would be.
I mean, Saban's there.
Yeah, but he is just a different guy. Yeah. He's not. He doesn't have. I don't think he can. He's funny, and he's shown some of that natural sense of humor that he has. But he can't play the funny guy, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like
he's not a character.
Right. Some people, they play the buffoon a little bit, and he's not going to do that. So you need a guy who like, Saban can't laugh at himself.
McAfee either. I don't think that's the answer either.
You think back to the thing with Shane Gillis, where he's talking about the cheating. You got to be able to laugh at yourself there.
Yes.
Saban at that moment was got to be like, hey, you're damn right, and I got all the best players. I knew what I was doing. Yeah, something like that.
You hold up like the number 7. Hey, Shane, this many rings, buddy.
You zero.
You zero. Me.
Maybe y'all should have paid more.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to make that. Instead, he got offended by that.
Yeah.
So, and even if you don't want to be joking back, you could at least not be offended by it. It's a comedian. So I don't know who that guy is right now. I said for a long time I thought it should be Les Miles, but obviously you can't go that route anymore. Mullen would be really good at it, I think. I think he could pull it off. He's got the right sense of humor for it, but he's back in coaching now. So I don't know who that guy is that you can go out and get somebody said Orgeron one time, and I think that's like the right idea, but the voice is too much to overcome.
You can't understand him.
Can't understand what he's saying. I mean, just say what it is. Yeah.
And I don't think he's a character, but not in the he is kind of a funny guy, but he's not like a cartoon character in a sense that he's really witty and bubbly. He's a character because he's a very small town South Louisiana guy with a goofy accent and would dip.
Yeah.
Ground up coffee.
Yeah. It would work. Someone mentions Gruden.
Gruden would be awesome, I think, on that setting. Now, he's more of an NFL guy, though. Could you get him to...
Did he dive into college football with the same passion? If you gave him that job, I think he would.
Man, Gruden would kill it on College Game Day. I didn't even think about him because he's such an NFL guy.
X-Razor!
Dude, his work with Barstool's awesome.
It's really good.
He's so funny and obviously knows the game really, really well. Yeah, Gruden's the answer. Because he's his own guy. He won't force the character.
Yeah.
He won't force being Corso's replacement. He'll be his
own
guy.
guy. Keith and JS has the right answer. Mike Leach would have been the guy.
It would have been.
Mike Leach would have been absolutely perfect for that. They could have had a lot of fun with that, but unfortunately.
Somebody says Pittman. I don't.
He's just not now.
He's got the lovable character. He seems like a really likable guy, Corso was. But
here's the thing, though, and this is why it doesn't quite work, right? Because Corso wasn't an overly successful coach, right, in Indiana and Navy. So Pittman. It's not that Pittman's not. His resume isn't the problem. The problem is that when Corso started this, he was already calling games and everything. He didn't go straight from coaching into being that guy. Mm-hmm. If I saw Sam Pittman, my first thought would be a guy who couldn't get it done at Arkansas. Not a great coach. You're right. You're completely right that he could be the guy. He could pull off the funny, warm Southern guy. But at the same time, I don't know if it works.
Yeah. Shaq Bully says when you work all week and get up on Saturday morning and you see Coach Corso, everything is good in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What about Spurrier?
He could do it.
He could do it.
But he would troll everybody so bad. People would get mad. Nobody would want to be on the show. They'd be like, we don't want Spurrier coming here and telling us how bad we are.
If you had to guess his age, what would you guess?
Spurrier? He's in his 70s.
He just turned 80 in April.
Okay, yeah.
Looks good for 80.
Well, think about it. He was the 66, 67 something Heisman Trophy winner, something like that. He was the head coach at Florida. His first year was 91, and I want to say he was in his 40s then. So, that tracks.
The 1966 Heisman Trophy winner, Steve Spurrier.
I say I was close.
But man, his mind is still sharp. he's got those jabs, man.
Yeah, he's not. He hasn't lost a single mile per hour on his fastball whatsoever. You know, he could absolutely come in here and just obliterate anybody he wanted to.
One of my friends has a grandparent that's almost 100 and sharp as but like a real horse's rear end.
Yeah.
That might be the secret to longevity is cynicism.
Well, in that case, I'm
you might be here forever, man.
Forever.
Just be cynical, and apparently you stick around.
Yeah. I mean, if I can get if biting sarcasm is the fountain of youth, well, buddy, you're gonna be seeing me on Sports Talk Mississippi for a long time. Great. Tuberville, you guys are out of your mind. No, absolutely not.
Is there a different Tuberville that I'm not thinking of?
Are you talking about Joe Tuberville? Who is Tuberville? No way.
Could Lane Kiffin pull it off? I don't think so. He's too dry. Now he would get the shots in and all that.
You and I would watch that and we would be on the floor laughing at the stuff he's saying. But like the average player would be like, "What is he talking about?" Yeah. He would be making references up there that nobody got. So he could do it. He absolutely could do it. But
Dan says, "What about Shaq?" Although I mean, Shaq and Barkley on College Game Day would be a hoot. Yeah. They really would be so funny.
I'm not putting that helmet on. It's too small for my head. Too small for Shaq's head. Yeah, that Shaq, he could do it. Yeah,
they would be so funny. You guys wouldn't even care that they didn't have ball knowledge of college football because you'd be laughing so hard.
Yeah,
that show inside
Barkley would be in there
NBA,
talking about how much he paid Cam Newton and all that.
Oh yeah,
unbelievable.
But that show is perfect sports media because they analyzed when they needed to, and they goofed off all the time, and it was so funny and organic. I love those guys. I hope ESPN doesn't ruin that show because it's so perfect.
Sounds like us. We're serious when we need to be, but we goof off the rest of the time.
Simmy says, hey, Dad, 2026.
For what? To be on that show?
To be on College Game Day.
I mean, if they want to talk, good news is I can keep this job. Apparently, I just have to work 3 days a week.
Less sometimes.
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey would be an interesting one because I think he would work hard and
But he's just not the college football guy. He's a pro football guy.
I do think, listening to him, I do think that he would work hard to
he might
have ball knowledge about
he would have
college
to,
football.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just tough.
It is different, and he'll have so many opportunities for NFL stuff that he won't need to do that.
Exactly.